How's it going, guys? Nordy back, bringing you some more StarCraft2 ladder matches. So, got a little bit of a pretty crazy matchup for you here today. If you're looking at the top right and you're wondering, you know, hey Nordy, why do you have a gold border around your portrait now? I thought you were platinum. It's because this is on the European server. I like to come on the European server and just, you know, play 1 or 2 games real quick to, you know, warm up before I hit the ladder on the NA server, just to, you know, make sure I'm not messing up anything, because I'm fresh, you know. So that's what I like to do on here. But today I had just a crazy PvZ match that I had to show you guys, because I mean, it's a pretty good example of how to stay calm even when you're taking a lot of damage, and you know, just stay calm and continue on to win the game. So let's get right into it here. It's a PvZ between myself and Mojimantry. So let's get right into it here. He is a gold player as well, but I have a sneaking suspicion that he's actually higher than Gold League, because he does not play like a normal Gold League player would. Let's bring up the nameplates here. So PvZ, obviously I want to wall off the ramp. Then I'll just be looking to do a 1-gate expand into. I'll be trying to be going for a mass charge lot Archon build. That build seems to work out pretty well in a PvZ, because, you know, the Archons, they do a little bit of splash damage, and they get a bonus damage to any bio units, which all Zerg units, even Zerg buildings, are considered bio units. So Archons do really good against Zerg. So I'll be looking to get a lot of those, and then the charge lots just help for cleaning anything up that is around the area as well. So build my gate, send the probe over to scout as normal. Building that gas down there. Then at 20 supply, I'll expand. I'll build the Nexus. I usually rally the 19 probe down to the natural to expand. He sent a pretty early scout out, so I just sent the probe down there to meet it, just to make sure he's not doing some sort of proxy hatch on me inside my base. I sent this probe right here. If you guys didn't, like, if anybody's ever stealing your gas and you you don't want to, maybe you don't want to build a simulator because you don't want to waste your money on it, you can just click on a probe and then just right-click the gas like you're moving into the gas, and they won't be able to take the gas there. So that's how you take the gas, or block the gas without actually having to take it. There I took my gas, but it was a bit of a mistake, because I should have built my Cybercore first. Again, this is why I warm up on EU before I go in ladder for real on NA, so I don't make mistakes like this. Throw down the Cybercore. Back in the rear, I scouted and I saw he had I saw he went for a hatch first, and he wasn't going for any sort of full first Ling rush, so I figured I was okay to expand there. Another mistake, I built my second pylon up here at the top of my ramp when I should have built it down here to start walling off. Again, reasons why I warm up on EU before I go to NA. So here I'm going to send the probe down to build the third pylon down here. Cybercore's up. Sending my probe back through to scout, see if I can scout any more tech. I scouted that he's making Ling speed. Didn't see a roach warren, so I know I won't be having to deal with any sort of early roaches. Expansion's getting done, just continuing to make probes. Building a depth out. I'm going to throw down the Twilight Council there to get a depth glaives and then charge after that. Chronoing out Warp Gate here. Making sure I build double probes now that I have both Nexi up. You can see here he's bringing down some Lings. Of course, I don't know that at this point. I got my scout still here. I'll send him back in one more time. Build another gateway. Build 2 more gateways to kind of finish off my wall here. I probably should have put this gate a little bit more this way, so it would be a 2 square space instead of a 3 square, but it's not really too big of a deal. This guy's Ling's just kind of poking around. I just send my depth over to try to ward him off a little bit. Bringing my Mothership Core up. just in case I have to photon overcharge anything. Got Adept Glaives, Resonating Glaives rather, starting up right now. Gonna build a second pylon right here behind the wall. You can see here he's gonna start morphing this into a Dropper Lord, and then he's gonna morph these into Banelings and do a Baneling drop, which again, not exactly something a gold player does, which leads me to believe that he's a little bit higher than gold, but you know, maybe he is just gold. Building a Dark Shine there because I want to morph the DTs into Archons here eventually. See, he's bringing out just a bunch more Lings here. Got both my gateways up here. I got 2 Adepts trying to wall off the natural expansion there.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Warp gate's done, so I'm gonna start turning my gates into warp gates. You can see here he's bringing in this Overlord Baneling drop, which I do not see until it's far too late. Wasn't paying attention to my mini-map, so I gotta be looking out for that. Had I been paying attention, I could have just moved all these probes away, but instead he comes in and just gets, look at this guys, he just gets massive damage to my probes. And here I come up and I see it and I'm like, oh jeez, he just destroyed my mineral line. Like, right now I'm thinking I'm probably gonna be way down, but turns out to photon overcharge here just to push that back because I didn't know if it had Banelings in it as well, so just wanted to stop that. He's loading up another drop of Banes. I put a pylon right here since I know he's bringing in drops to give me some more, a little bit earlier detection on that. But he's going to bring this Overlord into my natural expansion here. I see it coming in. He's going to start dropping Banes on top of my Adepts. Then I just micro them out of the way. I see him coming down from my mineral or my probes here. So I just move them out of the way. He only gets 1 off. Let's send him back to the mineral line. Warping in some Stalkers to try to deal with that. I got some Stalkers up here at my main just to try to ward him off. See here he's kind of in a full retreat. So right now, I mean, he just did. Let's see here. So he got 9 workers killed on those drops. So I mean, he did pretty heavy economic damage to me, and he delayed my build time by quite a bit. Like, had he not done that, I'd have already been taking a 3rd by now. But since I had to remake all these probes, and I had to make all these Stalkers, which I didn't want to do. I'm a little bit down on, or I'm a little bit behind on my build. Got my DTs here. I know he saw the DT shrine with that first drop, so I just morphed him into Archons because I figure he's probably got a couple of overseers. Got my Observer over here, just scouting around, seeing what he's got. Warping in a couple more Stalkers just in case he does any more Baneling drops on me. Right now I'm just trying to get my army started. Put a couple pylons up here. Probably didn't need 2 of them right here. I probably could have put one of those over here. Is what it is. See here, he's bringing in some Lings. Gonna try to do some damage, but I just come up and kill all these Lings here. Go fast. Lings don't do too well against Glaved Adepts and an Archon, so push that back pretty well. He's taking a 3rd expansion here, which is probably one of my saving graces that he built this expansion so late. If he had built this earlier and he had gotten, you know, full saturation on 3 bases, then I would have been even more down on my economy here. So that might have been my saving grace that he took this expansion so late. Opening some more DTs to try to get some more Archons out. Really want to get a good Archon count going. I'm going to put some photon cannons at the front here, just in case. I'm going to bring these Stalkers back down to the front because I'm thinking about pushing pretty soon. Got a fairly decent gate count. Don't have a Warp Prism yet, but I'll be looking to get that soon. I got +1 on the way. Offering another Archon in. Managed to get my main back up to full saturation after that devastating Baneling drop early on. You can see here on the left of the map, he's bringing in some mutas. Probably should have taken these Elnaga watchtowers, but again, since he threw me off with that Baneling drop, you know, it just kind of threw my whole playstyle off, so I didn't take those early on like I usually do. And he managed to swoop in with these while I'm thinking about moving my army out. And again, I'm not paying attention to my minimap because I'm at this point I'm kind of in a panic mode right now because I figure he's probably got, you know, at this point I'm thinking, oh gosh, he's got 4 bases, and you know I'm down super bad in supply or in economy. So I'm just thinking right now that I need to attack, and I wasn't paying attention to my minimap at all. And managed to swoop these mutas in here and get even more worker damage done to me. See here, he's killed 17 workers already. He manages to pick off my DT shrine, which isn't good. Bringing in his mutas to try to get some damage in there, but had my archons lying in wait for him. So I managed to thwart that off, but not before he dealt pretty severe economic damage to me. I got my probes chilling here, but I'm going to move them back up to the main. And I'm going to start pushing out my army as well. Got my warp prism with me as well. Build another DT shrine so I can get more archons in the future. So he brings his mutas around this way, so he ends up spotting this. So he's going to be gearing up for an attack or for a defense here. He's got some lurkers, and I do not have an observer anymore, so that'll be a bit of a hassle for me to deal with here eventually. So just pushing in, gonna start attacking his natural expansion here. He's got his mutas here, but the archons do pretty well against mutas, so I'm not too worried about them. Got this lurker here just devastating me. I honestly don't know about this lurker just yet at this point in the game. Just not paying much attention, I guess. Just trying to get as much damage done as I can. So his lurker kind of goes to town on my army here. I guess it's only got 1 kill, but it's taking down a lot of my shields on a lot of my units, so that's not good. And then I just push up into his main, continuing to warp in units in the back here. He's trying to get more units out as well, but I'm pushing his main, trying to take down all of his buildings here, all of his tech, so he can't build any more units. Because I don't know at this point how many bases he has, so I want to try to cripple him as much as I can in this attack. I'm coming over here. My first priority is to take out the spire so he can't get any more mutas, so I don't have to worry about any air attacks. And I see the lurker den, so I go ahead and take that out real quick. I come over here and take out this evolution chamber, and then I'll take out his spawning pool as well. His lurker's still going to town on me here as I bring units up. We're warping in some more DTs in the back since my DT shrine's finally done. Trying to morph in more archons. He manages to pick off my warp prism, so I'm gonna have to build another one of those here shortly. And at this point, I realize that he has lurkers, since I see all these lurkers attacking my archon here. So he unburrows right there. He shouldn't have unburrowed. So I managed to get a pick off on one of them while he's trying to move him back. He should have just kept him there, honestly, because I didn't have any protection. So I know he's got lurkers at this point, so I just back off because I know I don't have anything to defend against that. I got a observer coming over across the map right now. I'm building another warp prism as well, and he's just on 1 base, so I've managed to pretty severely cripple him even after he did all that early damage to me. Again, just showing you guys the power of the DT or the Archon charge lot build here. Able to come back even though I'm pretty severely behind early on in the game. I'm able to turn it around with these units here. We do have a few stalkers, but those are mainly to defend against the drops early on. And gets the mutas as well. Got some more zealots coming in here. I warped them in back of my main a little while ago. He picked off my observer, so again I don't have any more detections. Spore Crawler managed to get it. Bring my zealots around here, trying to cut off as much mineral income as I can. I see him trying to pull over here, so I'm thinking maybe he's got a base over there, but I'm just trying to focus on this base for right now. My warp prism's finally back over, so I'm warping in a bunch more zealots and DTs, try to morph in some more archons here. I'm gonna try to take out his spawning pool here so he can't build any more any more units, but he managed to make a bunch of hydras here, so he takes out all my units. But that's okay, because my warp prism is done over here, so I'm able to warp in at the front again. I'm gonna get 4 archons and then just a bunch of zealots here, and then I'll push it again. Just waiting for my warp gates to come off cooldown before I attack. There we go. Warp in a bunch of zealots, and I'll push the base again. Actually, I think, yeah, I'm waiting for my observer. I built another one since he sniped it. He's got a spore crawl here, so I want to take that out so he can't take down my observer again. But he's got this one here, which I believe manages to take it out again. But not before I take out the lurker, so not too big of a deal. And at this point, I mean, I just took out his army. He doesn't have another base. I start coming up here because I think maybe he does have another one, but he doesn't, and he ends up just GGing out, so... You know, that was a really crazy close match. I took all that early damage on, which is not good. He totally threw me off all my build order. You know, I should have had a 3rd base by now, and honestly, I probably should have had a 4th base. But I was so focused on the attack once I commenced the attack that I just didn't build another base. So, but I should have had a 3rd base by, you know, around 5 to 6 minutes. But since he did that drop on me, got so much mineral damage on me there, I wasn't able to expand like I normally would. Kind of forced me to, or at least it made me think that I had to press the attack as soon as I could, because I figured he probably had at least 3 bases, if not 4, that were fully saturated, and I figured he'd probably have a huge economic lead on me, so I wanted to try to you know, reduce the gap as soon as I could, but I did not know he delayed his 3rd expansion so long, so it ended up working out for me in the end. Again, kind of just showing you example of a match where everything's going wrong for you, but you just got to stay calm, or try to stay as calm as you can, and just continue along the build path that you have set out for yourself, that you have in mind, even though you're behind. You know, just continue to try to go down it and do as best as you can. Try not to panic too much, and you know, sometimes you'll come out with a pretty crazy close win like I did right here. So check out the 8 p.m. real quick. We had 176 and I had 86. You guys have watched my previous videos, you know I try to keep it below 7, or you know, in the probably from like 70 or below APM. I tried to keep it around that range, but this match, since everything was going wrong for me early on, I had to step it up just a little bit, so that's why my APM was a little bit higher, but it's still considerably lower than his, so not too big of a deal there. Again, showing you APM doesn't matter too much. Just the 3 things, which, I mean, one of them I obviously didn't do very well. 3 things: reacting to your opponent, mini-map watching, a good build order, you know. Actually, 4 things now, I forgot. In the previous video, I added a 4th thing. The 4th one, a decent build order, you know, just picking a tech path and going down it no matter what happens, which this match was an example of that, and scouting. So those are my 4 things I think are much more important than APM, so I think that match showed it pretty well, even though I didn't map watch all that well, which got me into the sticky situation at the beginning there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that match. I know I certainly did. My heart was racing through most of that match, so yeah, it was a pretty good match. Moja Mantry, if you're watching this, great game, man. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Nordio.